I'm trying to relax, you know.
Okay.
Ooh.
You trying to relax? You uptight?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on camera. So.
You are so funny. I mean, it's not live. It's not like they can see you right now. So.
Yeah, but at least when they play it, they'll see me.
What up, peeps? Welcome back to the Gabe Fix. Whether it's your first time or you've been here multiple times before, hey, girl, hey. As you can see, I'm here with a special guest. It's Mom.
Hi.
So, about a month or so ago, I asked you guys for some questions that you wanted Mom to answer. If you remember, I did this with Nana a couple years ago, so it's Mom's turn. And we're going to jump right into these questions. I asked my peeps on Instagram, so that is where I'm getting all of the questions from, and we're going to see how many we can get through. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, now if I ask anything and you don't feel comfortable answering it, you can just say pass. All right, so first question, they just jumped right into it. How long did you work in law enforcement?
Wow. I was a deputy sheriff for 15 years for Marion County in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And what made you choose a career in law enforcement, and why did you leave?
Whoa.
Is that too nosy, is what the person said.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
You know, I'll just give you the, how should I say it, the short version.
Okay.
I started out wanting to be an attorney. I went to school and criminal justice was my major, pre-law, political science, and then psychology. But since I didn't get to finish school, I decided to get a job in law enforcement as a prerequisite to eventually finish in law school. And I was green, of course, I was young, and I believed that all lawyers and attorneys were honest people. And once I started working in the criminal justice system by being a law enforcement officer, I realized that was not true. And I was disheartened and pretty much turned off against being an attorney. I didn't want to go into a different type of law.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be in criminal law, and I didn't know how I would feel about myself defending someone that might not be innocent.
Yeah.
That's how I got into law enforcement, and I stayed because I enjoyed the job. I enjoyed serving and protecting. That's what law enforcement officers
Are
do.
supposed to do.
That's what law enforcement officers do. Let me just say this. All law enforcement officers are not bad cops. But it makes everybody look like a bad cop when things happen like they've been happening.
Absolutely.
And I worked for the Sheriff's Department for 15 years, and I enjoyed working for the Sheriff's Department. But I knew it was time to go because God had been pushing me to go. And sometimes He has to shake you up to get you out. So I ended up losing the job after 15 years, but I have no regrets because I learned some lessons.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
And that's my short version.
That's the short version. Yeah. Okay, so before I ask another question, maybe this could be a follow-on question. How far did you get in school, and why did you stop? Since you mentioned that.
Okay, I started out at Ball State University. Yay, go Cardinals! And I went to school on a full ride scholarship, state scholarship, and got to school, had really heavy load. I mean, I was 15, 16, 17 hours as a quarter. Yeah. We were on quarters at that time, which is, different from
not semesters. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I went through school, and as when I was in high school, I was in everything. I was doing everything. I was really active. I was participating. And so I tried to do the same thing when I went to school. And started to pledge. My GPA dropped a little. Went to summer school trying to bring it up. Fell in love. Was seeing my first husband. Every chance I got, and withdrew, but ended up withdrawing with an F. So I dropped below the average that
you needed for your scholarship.
Yeah, and so I lost my scholarship. Had to come home. Didn't have the money. And I could have finished because I was actually, even though I just finished my sophomore year, I had junior credits because I was...
You were still,
overloaded. But I did go back for a little while, but then I started working regular jobs, and life happened.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't finish.
Would you ever be interested in going back?
I've contemplated it a few times.
Yeah.
But no. No.
Okay.
Because I would do something different now anyway. So
yeah.
It wouldn't be the same.
Okay. So we're going to shift gears a little bit. The next question is, what advice could you give me pertaining to raising a child with Down syndrome? My baby is 14.
Wow. That's major. Don't get me crying on here, y'all. Love, love, love. That's all I believe God knows exactly who to give his special ones to. So I believe you're a beautiful mother because he has to think enough of you to bless you with one of his special ones. And he covers them. And that's what gets me, because Gracie, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, is covered. So your baby's covered. Doesn't matter what other people do or what they say, God takes care of his special ones. And my advice to you is just love her where she's at until she gets where God would have her to be. Not you or I or anyone who tells you, well, she needs to do this or he needs to do that, or I can teach him this or I can teach him that. Just love them where they are. Focus on what they can do and not what they can't. Because in the end, God's going to make it happen, regardless of what people say. Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. Just love them, because they give you plenty of love.
Oh yeah,
Thank you,
Gracie's a lover. I love her. What is something you wish you would have shared more of with Gabe while she was growing up?
Ooh.
With me while I was growing up. It's weird to read that out loud.
I shared a lot of things with you.
You did everything, like
all
the things.
I was a really transparent mom.
Were very transparent,
and I felt like that was a good way to parent with her, because I didn't want her to feel like I kept things. My life was open book for her, and
it really was. When I think about it,
yeah,
you told me everything.
Yeah, so it's not. I can't really think of anything right offhand.
Yeah,
because I shared everything with her. I did. I really did, and part of the reason is because of my mom grew up in a time where everything was hush-hush and they kept things quiet, and that was during that time where people were more reserved. They didn't talk about things.
Yeah.
But I wanted her to be able to come to me and ask me anything,
whatever,
whatever, no matter how hard, no matter how difficult or hurtful, just talk, let's get it out there and talk about it. So there is one thing.
Oh,
look at that.
Is
Holy
there?
Spirit, thank you. I wish I had shared more about cooking.
Oh, yes,
her.
honey. I wish that too.
Yeah. Because
I've been struggling in these streets, okay?
don't get me wrong, my daughter is an excellent cook, and she cooks recipes to a T.
Yeah. Give me a recipe.
Even when I was working as a deputy sheriff, and she really helped me out a lot, because she would watch Gracie, because I was a single parent for her at a time. But I'd say, Gabriel, make some salmon croquettes. And she said, Mom, was the recipe and I give it to her, she'd write it down. I'd come home, them mugs was delicious.
Hey, that was my specialty for a long time.
But
okay?
I'm just saying, you know, if I'd have been there more often in the kitchen with her, a lot of things she would know without having to have the recipe for them. But she can cook. It's just that's one thing. So
that's one thing. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I didn't think about that one. What is your favorite memory with me and Gracie?
Whew, I have oh man, that's a difficult question. My favorite memory with, okay, when Gabriel was, I'd say maybe 2. I mean, I have so many memories.
I'm sure.
With both of my girls, but my favorite with her is I would lay on the couch and she would come and lay right here. She just come and lay. And Gabrielle, if you know anything about her, she's not a touchy-feely type person.
No.
She's not the kind that, you know, shows a lot of affection outwardly. Not to say that it's not there. It's just that she doesn't always show it.
Yeah.
And so that would be a highlight for me because she would come and lay right on my torso. I would be laying on my back. And she was about 2. 2.5 maybe. And she would just lay there. That's a precious memory for me. And what's even more precious is my granddaughter did that with me just the other day, Taco Tuesday night.
She did.
Yeah, she climbed up on me, and I'm like, oh man, those memories just start flooding.
Yeah.
Now with Grace, she's a totally different species from Gabrielle. She would hold on to my legs.
Yes,
I would drag her. She so she was so touchy-feely all the time. But my memories of her would be when we were in my first home. Our first home, I had her room all decorated in primary colors.
Oh my goodness.
Everything was primary colors, and she had clowns and balloons, everything over her wall. Her room was beautiful.
It really was.
And we sat there, and every night I'd sing Amazing Grace to her. And to this day, she knows that song.
Oh yeah, she sings the song
so.
too. Yeah. Oh, those are good memories. Okay, what was I like as a kid?
Very quiet.
No surprise there.
Gabrielle,
What might be a surprise to y'all?
Well, Gabrielle was, I mean, she enjoyed playing with herself, you know, as far as she liked to dress up in my high heels, and she liked to sing. From as long as I can remember, she would either have a comb or a brush or a stick or something. She would always be singing, and she liked to walk around in my heels. But she was a really quiet little girl, very peaceful, and she was scared to death of me. I don't mean that. I mean, all I had to do is look at Gabrielle, and she would cry. Turn up and cry.
Yep.
And I don't think she was frightened of me. She just didn't want to disappoint me. You know, and I still think she's that way to a certain extent. Not with me, but with her dad.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
Not so much with me anymore, but with him.
I don't know. That's maybe when I was younger.
You
I don't
changed?
think that I really think about it now. Like
For a long time she did.
Yeah,
because she didn't want to ever disappoint him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, but both of y'all went through that period with both of y'all.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
That's
interesting.
Learn something.
Okay. When did you go gray? Have you always embraced it, or did you used to color or dye it?
Oh no, I've always embraced
I know.
it.
It's funny, right? She's always embraced it.
And
but
you
she's
see me
wearing
now.
this
Look at
wig.
this. Okay.
If this is your first time watching, my mother has gray hair. It's salt and pepper. It's beautiful. And she just has on a wig today. So that's so funny.
The moral of this story is, I I don't know what I want to do with my hair next. And because of that, I've been wearing wigs. And they were gray. And then Gabrielle had given me this years ago. I found it up in my closet, and I was like, oh, let's try this. And it's been here since. And
it's cute.
Everybody likes it.
Cute.
And it's not that I don't like it. I like it. But I would prefer having my gray hair. I say I started graying about 35. I was 35.
Yeah, it was about that.
It's somewhere in between 34 and 35. But I started in the top and it came down. So if I had my hair pulled up, you couldn't see it. Because I didn't start getting it around my edges until late. Like almost in my 50s. Yeah, it started in the top and it came down.
Yeah, that's where mine is starting.
And then my back is still black.
Yeah.
So, because I had jet black hair, and then this part came in later. But yes, I've always embraced it. I've only colored my hair twice. Yeah, twice. Once it was this color. I had a Jerry curl.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
And it was this color, actually, because Mama highlighted it. Nana highlighted it for me. And then the second time, I dyed it right before I got married to BJ. And it was like an auburn red. And because I had a relaxer, it all came out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Never again. Okay, Grace is making noise. We've got a lot of background noise, but that's okay. This is authentic.
Is the barbecue chicken she eating spicy? Is that what she's talking about?
No, it's chips.
Oh, she eat them chips. Okay. Then somebody said it's not a question, but I love her so much when she laughs.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Somebody asked, do you see any similarities between me as a child and Chad Jr. or Reagan as children?
Yes, Chad Jr. Chad Jr. is his mom's kindred spirit. Honestly, he's very sweet. A sweet child. I forgot to say that about you because she's so sweet. And he's really, really calm. Really calm. Doesn't get really upset. So it's like her mini me. He's her mini me.
He literally is my mini me.
Now Ray, no.
Completely different.
Ray is more like her auntie Gracie.
She is. You know what? She is.
She's more like her auntie Gracie. Because Gracie
was a firecracker. Right?
And still is.
Yes.
Whether you would know it or not, she is a firecracker. And so that's who Ray reminds me of.
That's a good one. That is a good one. How did Mom feel when you joined our illustrious sorority?
Oh. I'm not going to cry. You know what? This has been a dream of hers for so long. And it's just been something. I didn't see her first, and then I kind of caught her in my peripheral vision. I mean, she can remember. I can remember her playing with my umbrella and my cane. We stepped with cane, and I had all the stuff. But it's been such a long time for her, and when it finally happened, I was just speechless. I was crying. I couldn't stop crying. It was just, because she wanted it, and I wanted it for her. I wanted it for her, and we got through that. And I'm just grateful.
Yeah, me too.
I'm grateful we were able to share it.
Yay! If you could give your 20-year-old self any advice, what would you say?
20-year-old, count it all joy. That's one of my favorite scriptures. But at 20, I was young and I wasn't where I needed to be spiritually, and I went through some changes, some rough changes, but count it all joy. Because I don't have any regrets. But at that young age, you feel like, you're hard on yourself when you don't. Because I was hard on myself when I didn't finish school. And it's not that I couldn't. I knew I could have. But I was hard on myself. And, you beat yourself up when you make those mistakes. But you know, God had a plan and a purpose, and you know, I turned out okay. So you count it all joy.
Do you teach Bible study or Sunday school? Have you ever?
Yes, I have both taught Bible study and Sunday school, and given messages also on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because at one time my pastor moved away and our church carried on, and we had to do lessons. And it's been a while now, but I was licensed as a minister, but not ordained as a pastor. And that's where my gift is. It's in teaching. Yeah. Operating in the office of teaching. So yes, I have. Thanks.
What do you admire the most about me?
Where do I begin? Wow. It's so many. I'm not gonna cry. There's so many things I admire about Gabrielle. Oh man. Just who she is in her whole totality. Because I can't really break it off to specific things, because it takes all of it to make you as a whole. She's a great mom. She's a great wife. But most of all, she's a great woman of God. A lot of people don't realize that about her. She has faith. I mean, she radiates the love of God.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
She radiates the love of God, and she's been a perfect daughter. I mean, really, she has. I mean, except when you was trying to be the class clown. But other than
so funny. I don't remember trying to be nobody's class clown.
Yeah, I had to come up
to
to
like I would be the type to be a class clown.
This was when you was in high school, remember?
I don't remember.
Anyway, yeah, you do, because I came to the school.
Oh yeah, you did. Come on.
But anyway, yeah, she's got this thing where, in spite of how she's feeling, it doesn't show outwardly. She's real reserved and cool, and she keeps it together. Now, I know her. I realize there are things that bother her or when she's hurting, and of course, nobody knows her like her beautiful husband, but I know her. But it's all of that wrapped in one neat package.
Oh, thanks. Well,
I love that. I do. I was like, I did good. Nana and I did good.
Yes, both of y'all.
It takes a village.
Yes.
Don't forget that. It takes a village.
That is so
And
funny.
great granny.
So somebody wanted to know what made you decide on AKA.
Okay, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Well, this is a story. Honestly, I went to Ball State University, as I've said before, and they had their teas. At that time, they were called teas.
Yeah.
And that they would invite you to come to the tea so you could meet and greet and things of that nature. Now, without going into any details, at the time I had no knowledge of either Alpha Kappa.
And there's nobody in our family.
No one else.
That was Greek.
No one else in our family had been Greek. And even though I had friends that I went to high school with had become Greek, I didn't even know which ones they had come, had chosen. And I met a lot of nice people, a lot of Deltas, a lot of AKAs, a lot of nice people. But my deciding factor was, after I left that tea on a Sunday, that following Monday, I'm on the yard. And some of the women I met wasn't even speaking to me. And I felt like, well, if you want me to be a part of your organization, you should at least speak to me, And I don't know at that time how things were done, because I didn't know anything about it. But that was my deciding factor. The AKAs, they were the same. When I met them at the tea, they were the same when I saw them on the yard. But the other ones were not. And it really bothered me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I made my decision.
That's a good story. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Dear Mom, hey girl.
Hey girl.
What do you
What's
feel
up?
is one of your biggest accomplishments in life so far?
Being a mom. I mean, I don't look at my accomplishments as accomplishments.
Yeah.
I'm not one to toot my own horn. I look at my experiences as learning lessons. But being a mom, because there's so many facets to being a mom.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course I didn't have any sons, but I think I could have done that pretty good too. But raising two beautiful young women, that's it.
Yeah.
That's my biggest accomplishment.
Okay, let's see.
I'll take it out on the cat.
What you say?
Let's see.
These are really good questions,
are.
by the way. I'm excited.
What is a dish that Gabe can cook better than you? We're talking about cooking. Not very many.
White chicken chili.
Oh!
I love her white
do
chicken
like my
chili.
white
And
chicken
I've made it, honestly, maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't like it, it's just that I hadn't really made it. And I even asked her to make me some for Mother's Day.
First of all, she asked me was it on Mother's Day? It was
No.
that Saturday. It was that Saturday.
No, it wasn't.
It
It
was.
was that Tuesday. It was Taco Tuesday.
It was that Saturday. Mom.
Anyway, I didn't get my white chicken chili, but yes, it's the bomb. If you've never tasted, shame on you.
It
It's
is
the
really
bomb.
good. Thank you.
I had it for my birthday.
Oh yeah, I did. I made it for your
Yeah.
birthday because she made
my
you
hoedown.
Yeah, you made regular chili and I made the white bean chicken chili.
Man,
yeah.
none of that chili
fun.
was left.
No, they
We
killed it.
might make that an annual thing because we had
that
a
was
good
fun.
time.
That was
yeah.
a lot of fun.
And my grandson loved the s'mores.
Oh yeah, the s'mores were really good. Your faith is amazing.
Oh,
What advice do you have for someone starting their walk?
Don't be hard on yourself. You know, when I started this walk, I was a little girl. I started as a little girl and I continued to grow and grow and grow. And sometimes that means you might have to move or change your church fellowship, but you've got to be patient with yourself. You can't get it all in one day, you know. We learn all the wrong things first.
Yeah.
And so it takes us a while to reprogram our subconscious and learn God's way, not just, you know, so don't beat up on yourself, you know, just be patient with yourself. When you're starting your walk, meditate and spend time.
Oh, it's okay.
Spend time with the Lord. Sit before Him and make sure you're listening, because a lot of times we'll sit and we'll talk or we'll pray, but we don't always listen. And even start off with 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day. You know, sure, I can tell you to read, but the personal relationship comes from sitting and meditating and listening and hearing from God, because then you get directed in which way you should go. A lot of times we want to go and then ask, or go while we're asking. But sometimes God wants us just to be still, and we don't know that if we're hurrying into it. So don't beat up on yourself and make sure you sit and have time with the Lord.
That's a good one.
These are some good questions.
These are good questions.
I'm really excited.
As a mom, did you ever use your mistakes to teach me?
I don't know. Did I?
I mean,
Yes.
yes, you did.
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
I did. The biggest one was school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't want her to make the same mistakes I did. I was in too much. I was a pom-pom girl. I was a cheerleader. I was in ROTC. I was in Mask and Mime. I was in drama. I was in Latin club. I was in everything. Let's just put it this way, in high school. And because in high school, you can kind of slide by if you're smart, I didn't have any good study habits at all.
Yeah.
So once and my mom didn't know because she had never been to college. Nothing against her, but she didn't know. If I was making good grades, so she thought I was okay. But once I got to college, I didn't have any study habits at all. And you know as well as I do, if you've ever been to college or you know someone, you have got to have good study habits. And I skated in high school because sometimes I didn't do my homework because I was too busy. Well, not for Gabrielle.
No.
She had to have her homework done before she did anything. And that means on Friday, before she could do anything, her homework was done. So come Monday or Sunday night, we were not cramming.
Yeah.
And it paid off.
Yeah.
Because she took those habits that I instilled on to Tennessee State. And she graduated with honors. And then even when she went back to get her master's.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's something I instilled in her. You make sure you get your work done first before you play.
Yeah, definitely. How long ago did you give your life to the Lord?
Well, I was 7 when I first accepted Christ. I was with they were like my cousins. They are pretty much like distant cousins, and they had Vacation Bible School. And I had always gone to church with my grandmother, but I joined at 7 and got baptized, and that was where my walk started. I would say once I got 30 years old, I had a transformation and realized that I needed to start living like Christ. Because it's one thing to accept Christ as your personal Savior. It's another thing to start walking and living like Christ.
Yeah.
So that happened. That transition happened at 30. I've been saved since I was 7, but my transition happened at 30 years old. Wow, same as Yeshua.
Yeah. Let's see here. Someone asked, can we do another singing vlog? And then another person asked, what is your favorite song to sing with me?
Me.
Chad Jr.'s in the back talking about him.
He said him. My favorite song to sing with Gabrielle is Clean Heart.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but there are others we sing together, but
we got a lot that we sing together.
Gabrielle's really, really busy. One song that I wanted us to sing together, we never got a chance, was Moving Forward.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I was singing that today upstairs
I was too.
Randomly. Were you? That is so crazy. Maybe we'll have to get that one together and do that one for
because
you guys.
it's one of my favorite songs.
We've never sang that one together.
Yeah, but you did sing it when you guys were living in Tennessee.
Yeah.
When it was so funny.
Yeah.
I came to visit and we went to church that Sunday, and it was a surprise. And of course, you know I was bawling.
I forgot about that.
But she did so good.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Okay, let's see.
Was there two
Somebody
parts
asked,
to that question?
No, those were 2 different questions. Somebody said, "Are you married?"
Yes. I am married to a wonderful husband called BJ. His name is Bert, but they call him Bert Jr. It's Bert Jr., but they call him BJ.
BJ. Beach.
Shout out.
How did you feel about your daughter doing YouTube and then YouTube full time?
I didn't understand it at first, basically, and there's still facets of I still don't understand, but I was okay with it because, hey, Gabrielle's smart. So whatever she puts her mind to, it succeeds. She's always been that way. She had like 4 or 5 jobs. Always had jobs. And I attribute that to her seeing me work and her grandmother work. You know, we've always worked, and I'm grateful for that. She picked that up. But sometimes she was just like working too much. But I thought, okay, if you like this YouTube thing, you know, it's okay with me. I don't have a problem with what you're doing. But then when it got so heavy, she had to give up her regular job. And look where it's got her. I'm grateful. It's a blessing.
It's definitely a blessing.
Now she does sometimes. She got a lot of she put out there, you know. And, you know, and
a whole lot.
We've been on this journey with her, you know, Nana and I. So, you know.
Speaking of Nana, how was it growing up with Nana as your mom? Was she strict?
Mama didn't take no mess.
Yeah.
That's for sure. She still don't. But I would say with my mom, she let me do a lot of things, more so than I let Gabrielle. She was a little more lenient on me. And I think it was because when she was growing up, there are things she wanted to do but couldn't because of responsibilities she had at home. So she wasn't able to join the Spanish club and different things like that. So she allowed me to do too much. She allowed me to do too much, and I pulled back when I
with me, which is why. So it was like this. So now I got to find a balance for Reagan and Siege.
Yeah, but you know, it's easy to get them involved in so many things that their minds are cluttered. And if I'd known a lot what I know now, I wouldn't have done all of that because it would have made a difference in my life in regards to being able to, you know, focus on one thing. But I think my mom was a wonderful mom, and she raised me most of it by a single parent, and she did an excellent job, you know, and she was everybody's mom. All my friends loved my mom. All of my friends liked talking to my mom. They still do. And all people love my mom because she's just a sweetie.
Yeah.
She's a
sweetheart.
sweetheart. So
and everybody loves Nana.
Yeah, she did a wonderful job, and I'm grateful for her.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you ever get tired of caring for Gracie?
No. It's challenging sometimes because people don't understand, and they want to say, look, Gabriel's looking, because they say I do too much for Gracie.
She does.
What is too much?
Ma, you know what
okay, but you're spoiled.
I mean, but that's different.
Yeah. The thing of it is, I prayed, and my church, we come together in agreement and prayed for Gracie extensively, and Grace's change is coming. It's actually coming into fruition now. We prayed, and I already know that she will be whole. She is already whole and complete, but she'll be able to do things that people have said for years that you need to teach her how to do. She's just going to start doing them on her own because the Lord's already let me know that. Granted, she's my baby, and I have spoiled her, but
Very much so.
it could be, you know, you need a break sometimes.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a break because being a caregiver is not always an easy thing, and you don't realize it's a caregiver, and you're doing it 24/7 until you get that break, and you think, wow, that's nice. You know.
Okay. Where and how did you come up with my name?
Gabrielle, for a long time I was gonna marry. I thought I was gonna marry. I was going to name her Jennifer. No,
You were. I remember you telling me
I
that.
said that, but I wanted her to have a biblical name, and I went to school. I remember in college I had a friend named. I don't think it was Gabrielle. Her name was Gabrielle. And once I looked it up and I found out what the meaning of it was, it just, plus her dad's name was Gary, so I wanted her to have his initials, Gary Allen.
And then
so,
Gabrielle, Alina.
Yeah. So
How did you come up with Alina?
I just made that up.
Yeah, Allen.
Alina.
It's beautiful. I love my middle name. How did you decide on Gabriel versus Gabrielle?
Because the archangel's name is Gabriel.
Yeah.
And the feminine form of that is Gabriel, which it means God is my strength in Hebrew and Greek. And I didn't want it to be Gabrielle.
She's adamant about it.
I don't like Gabrielle. It's Gabriel.
It's Gabriel. His the reason I don't like Gabby. It's Gabriel. Okay, let's see.
I'm glad she likes her name.
I love it. I love it. Speaking of BJ, how did you meet, and what's your best favorite memory of him? BJ, your husband, who was also your high school sweetheart.
He was my high school sweetheart. She told you.
I
already.
did, yeah.
He was my high school sweetheart. We actually met when I was in the 7th grade. His school and my school played basketball against one another, and I was a cheerleader, and he was on the basketball team. And he had this huge fro. Oh my God, it was gorgeous. And I was like, oh, he's mine. Well, long story short, we ended up going to the same high school. And as freshmen, we didn't date at first, but we eventually came together because we were in a musical group together. I used to perform in a band, and we had mutual friends, and that's how we got together. And we dated all through high school and some of college, and then 30 years later, after we both had been married and divorced, God brought us back together again. And what was the other part of that question?
Your best favorite memory.
When I was 16, I think, 16 or 17, and we were a couple, and we had been to either a football game or a basketball game. We would always go to McDonald's afterwards, and we were at McDonald's, and my boyfriend / husband now serenaded me in McDonald's in front of everybody.
What did he say?
Reasons
Oh.
by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That is hilarious.
Yes. He can sing, y'all. Girl, he can sing.
That is so funny. I think I always forget that BJ can sing.
That's because he
sing very
doesn't
often.
do it.
Yeah.
He's not confident enough in himself, but he has a beautiful falsetto, and he's always had that. And I just believe by faith one day it's gonna come out while he's preaching.
Yeah.
It's just gonna come on out.
That is so funny. Somebody else asked about singing. At what age did you discover that Gabe could sing? Because you both have beautiful voices.
Thank you. I don't know. Gabrielle probably started singing just as soon as she started talking.
Yeah.
Because I was one to sing all the time. I grew up singing. I grew up singing in choirs and in church, and I was always singing. I used to sing for my friends. They used to have me sing Michael Jackson band and different ones, and I would just sing.
Yeah.
So I was always singing. So, you know, children mimic their moms or their dads. They do what they see you do. And so because I was always singing, I just think she just started singing. And after she got a certain age, I just said, okay, we're going to develop this. And that's basically what we did.
Yeah.
And I pushed her hard. She'll tell you, I pushed her hard. And you know, she never, I don't know why, ever had confidence in her voice, but I just believe that too is changing, you know?
Yeah.
Because she's always had the...
I feel like I went through a point where I had a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, well, when you was little, yeah, you were very confident because you wanted to be recorded, and your dad would record you, and you would be singing. It's after you got older and you felt like you were worried about what other people would think of you, is when she started. That's how that scripture came.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 2 Timothy.
Yes.
Here's 2 related questions. Do you miss the times when Gabe and Babe first moved back to Indy? And do you miss it when they came over your house more often?
Oh, thank you. You know what? I am so glad you asked that question. Yes, and yes.
I really don't know how that happened. happened where we just stopped coming over?
Because, you know, and it's so funny because I would love for them to come. You know, they'll come if I keep the kids.
But she don't do that very often. Y'all remember we used to go over there every Friday? We would have date night, and she would keep her grandson.
I have to be honest. It's been because of health reasons. A lot of it has been because of health reasons.
Yeah, like with your knee and
yeah, because you know with Pooter, he's more. But at the time, Ray was little, and you know, it's hard for me to carry her a lot. You know, I'm getting it together. You know, I'm getting it together, but I will be keeping them more now. But that's still no reason why they can't just pop over and come visit.
You're right.
But I think a lot of it is because they're really busy. You know, I'm going to give them that benefit of the doubt. They do a lot, and they're really busy all the time. So I try to make it easier on them, and I come every Tuesday.
Yep, Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, today's a Thursday.
Oh.
You okay? Today's a Thursday, but I usually try to come once a week at least to see my grandbabies.
These grandbabies is going crazy. Girl, what is happening here?
Grandbabies gone wild.
No, you just sit right there, okay? Sheesh. Okay, let's see. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, wow. Well, you tell them what my favorite movie is.
Moonstruck.
Yes. Moonstruck. With Cher and Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And then my second favorite is...
Pretty Woman.
Yes. Julia Roberts.
Gotta love Julia Roberts. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. How long were you married to my dad?
Gary?
Yes. You weren't married to the other one?
We won't go there. We will go there. Gary and I dated 2 years before he proposed, and we got married, and we were married for 18 months, and we were together for 9. It was
short-lived.
Short-lived. But I had known Gary since I was in, 3rd grade?
Yeah. Let's see here. Table.
On the table.
And he's my best friend. Me and Gary are real cool.
Y'all really.
Yeah, we're really cool.
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Flowers.
That's hilarious. Earth, Wind, and Flowers. What was the hardest thing about raising me, and what was the easiest thing?
The hardest thing about raising Gabrielle was getting her to talk. You know, she was reserved. She didn't, I would say shy. Not really reserved, but shy. The easiest thing was all the time. She was a good child. Yeah. She didn't give me any trouble. I mean, there were some instances.
Oh, here we go.
But we're not going to talk about them. But for the most part, she was a really good girl.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
What were 3 things you always wanted to do but never got around to do?
Well,
or haven't gotten around to yet?
I was going to say, one was go to Venice. I did that.
Yeah.
Thanks to Gabrielle. Yes, I did that.
Yes, you did.
Another one is I love horses. Horses are my favorite animal. I would love to learn how to ride them. I've been on them a couple of times, but I mean, I really would learn how to be a rider, a horse rider. And since I've turned 60, I've decided to do all those things, sort of like a bucket list. Yeah. And they said,
did you start writing a book?
Finishing my book.
Finishing this book, okay.
God breathed the book into me years ago, and I've been procrastinating.
Yes, my mother is a beautiful poet. She writes phenomenal poetry.
Thank you.
And she has poems for days.
I do, and I've been collecting them because I know God has given me the opportunity, you know, to gain wealth through my poetry. I just have to Get it done.
Yes, tell her to get it together.
Thank you.
Please.
Get it done. Get it done. Yeah.
What was your reaction when I told you about Chad and him being white and all of the things?
You know, it's really funny, this story, and you've probably heard it before, I don't know, but when Gabrielle told me about Chad, she said, I met this guy on the IM. You know, at that time, I didn't know what
Facebook, but we were
I didn't know.
on IM.
I didn't know what it was.
Instant messaging.
And he said he's gonna come home and he's gonna treat me like a queen. And I said, oh really? And she said, and he's a white guy. Well, that didn't mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
You know, because I've never been one way or the other.
Yeah.
You love who you love. You know, and I said, send me a picture of him. You know, because I want to see what he looked like. She sent me a picture of Chad, and immediately God told me to pray for him. Well, at the time, I believe he was in Afghanistan. Is that right? So I thought I was praying because of him being in Afghanistan in harm's way, and I was praying, you know, for his safety. But I just prayed as God told me to, and then eventually I learned through my spirit that he was going to be my son-in-law. He was my answered prayer. He is my answered prayer.
Amen to that.
You hear that, Chad? You are my answered prayer, because
Ditto.
I prayed when Gabrielle was small and Gracie was small for her to have a husband and not have to go through the things that I went through in my life. I don't have any regrets, because everything I've gone through, I've learned lessons from, and you hold tight to those lessons. However, I didn't want her to experience some things that I went through, and so I broke all those generational curses off of her and Grace, and I prayed for a mighty man of God, a mighty man of valor for my daughter, and God answered my prayers through Chad Ryan Rader Sr.
Hey! Your whole government name.
Yeah.
That is so
it
funny.
didn't matter what he looked like. I knew his spirit was from God.
Yeah.
So that's all that mattered to me.
So speaking of Chad Sr., how would you describe your relationship with him?
He's my son. Not my son-in-law. He's my son.
Yeah.
It would be like I birthed him myself. You know, I love Rita, and I'm so grateful that she's allowed me to call him my son, because that's what I call him. I don't call him my son-in-law.
My mama.
Okay, so what country would you like to visit next?
Where is it? South America?
Where is it you trying to go?
Rio de Janeiro,
Oh.
baby.
You know,
I
I forgot you always wanted to go
there.
to Rio.
Rio
Yes.
de Janeiro.
Yes.
Is that South America?
Yes.
I don't know.
I had to think about it. Like, I think so, yeah.
How could you forget? She's always been good with that. I've never
that's
really
so
been good
funny.
with that. Rio de Janeiro.
How long have you been married?
We just celebrated 12 years, March the 24th. Yay! That's a lot for me.
It's
It's the longest one that I've had. That's a whole nother story. We won't go there.
Okay, so these are kind of, they're similar. Have you ever considered a blog or a book as it pertains to Black moms raising special needs kids? And then the other question is, would you ever consider having a YouTube channel?
Wow. Those are pretty heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I never really thought about writing about my relationship with Gracie. That's an idea.
Yeah,
I just, I guess, and here I go, not taking my own advice, but I never thought that would be something that people would want to know about.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think
No.
you would definitely.
I didn't think that would be interesting because I don't know why. I just never thought of it that way. And as far as I thought about a blog where you write things.
Yeah. I feel like you would be good with a blog.
And I just, I just don't really know. I guess I don't really know where to begin with that.
Just start writing.
But as far as a YouTube channel, no. And don't get me wrong, I love watching people on YouTube.
Yeah,
but
that's just
you
not
know,
your-
they get a lot of scrutiny. I'm not sure I'm ready for all that.
All the scrutiny.
I mean, hey, it is what it is, but
got all the things.
yeah, I don't. No, I'm good. Thank you. I'm good.
That's so funny. What's the top 3 parenting tips you have for us black women raising little black girls?
Wow. Be transparent. That to me is so important because you want your daughter to grow up seeing you as you are. Not telling her one thing and doing another. But just be real. Be transparent with her. And let her know that a man is supposed to treat her like a queen. I think that is important because some girls believe they have to do certain things in order to have that type of relationship. Or, especially if you're a single parent, a lot of times if there's a father missing or a father not active they're looking for love.
Yeah.
I can remember growing up, and even though I had my father, he wasn't in my life. I was looking for love in all the wrong places. Let them know their own self-worth. Hold on to your cookie.
Hold on
Because
to your
once
cookie.
you give it away, you can't get it back. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you let them know they are the prize. And any man that gets them has to be worthy of that.
Yep. I
And
said that today on the live.
did you?
Yeah.
but it makes sense. And
Yeah.
then above all, train a child up in the way they should go. Teach them about God. Teach them about God, how to pray, having faith, being able to walk according to His will. I taught Gabriel at a young age how to pray.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your kids are not too young to learn how to pray. And I'm not just talking about your blanket, now I lay me down to sleep. That's the first thing. Even though I put it in the end, that's the most important thing. Being able to have that personal relationship with God as a young little girl. Because then they'll always have it. Even if they stray, they'll always come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. Okay, last few questions. At what age was I when we were able to become friends?
Oh.
It's a good question.
I think my earlier years we started out as friends because I wanted her to like me. But then I realized I needed to be her mother, because there's got to be a line there where your kids understand I'm still in control. Regardless of how we get along, you still got to do what I tell you to.
Yeah.
You still got to go by my rules when you're under my roof. And so I think the transition with us, when I start to grow spiritually, around 14 and 15, our relationship changed.
Yeah.
I became more mom and less friend. And because when she was younger, we would dress alike, and she was my buddy. I would, we would hang out. But then I had to become mom in order to take her through those teenage years. I had to become firm. And then once she became an adult outside of my house, we became friends again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. How soon will you retire, and what are some of your dream plans post retirement?
Tomorrow? No. I'm sorry.
She ready.
When God says go, I'm gone. I would have liked to have retired a while ago, but it wasn't time yet. Y'all have to excuse me. This hair is getting on my nerves. But you know, I just believe it's just around the corner.
Yeah.
And I really want to be able to have my book finished and published before that time, if it be the Lord's will.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. You know, Gabriel and them said I should work at Starbucks. That would be cool. I'm still young. I don't have a problem with
Because I
that.
don't see you retiring and just not doing
No,
anything.
I wanted to be a librarian. They laughed at
I'm like, you
me.
had better look at Starbucks, Ma. Better benefits.
What's wrong with
I mean,
being
I don't
a
know. If
librarian?
you're a librarian, I have no idea what the benefits are like. But you always hear that Starbucks got really good benefits, like, you know.
But they
really,
do.
Yeah. So
They
I'm
do.
like,
I
you
checked
be a
it out.
barista. She has the personality for it. Like,
I enjoy
you can work when
meeting
you want
people.
to. Yeah.
But I hope I answered your question. But as soon as the Lord says go, I'm going to go, and I would love to have my book published by the time I get ready to retire.
Yeah. Somebody asked, what is your job?
I work for the Indiana Department of Environmental Management and Water Quality as a secretary. I'm a clerical assistant now. They just recently changed my title.
Oh,
But
okay.
I've been a secretary for the Department of Environmental Management in the state of Indiana.
Okay. Last couple questions. I know I just said that, but I just want to make
This
sure I
has
got
been
to
fun,
everybody's
y'all.
questions.
I really appreciate
And I hope that y'all
all these
watched the whole
questions.
thing, okay?
Yeah, I hope you didn't get bored.
Okay. Was there ever anything that you got so mad about that? Oh, this is to me. I guess, was there ever anything that I got so mad with you about that I swore I would never speak to you again?
Oh,
Mm.
that's pretty serious.
I don't know that it was ever that serious. I think
She
I
was
probably
pretty
was
mad
pretty
at me.
mad when you took my car
Car.
away. If you guys joined us on Taco Tuesday, you heard this story, but I asked for hair color. I wanted highlights in my hair, and
Like this somewhat.
kind of somewhat like this, and Mom said no multiple times, but my beautician was Nana, my grandmother, her mother.
Yes.
So I asked Nana, and Nana was
It was
like,
a bamboozle, y'all.
"Oh yeah,
It was
that'll
a
be cute. I'm
bamboozle.
sure she'll be fine." So I'm thinking, you know, Mom,
Gabriel
Nana,
knew what she
like
was
if
doing.
Nana says yes, then Mom's gonna have to be okay with it because it's Nana. You know what I'm saying?
You ever try to do that with
So-
your parents?
Honey,
Girl,
I
don't
came
even.
home and it was a situation. Mom was not happy
No. Mm-mm.
at all. She
No.
took my car, made me ride the bus. I was like 16,
You were a
17.
junior
I was a
in
junior in
high
high school. She made me ride the bus. I could not get a ride with my neighbors.
Because I met her on the bus stop.
I had to
Full
actually
uniform.
ride the bus. And the very next day, Nana recolored my hair
to its original
to its
color.
original color.
I don't
Like,
play that.
It was a situation.
If I tell you no, I mean no.
I just felt
And it's the same way with
And
my
then I
mom,
said
which
yes.
really got me because
Oh, she
I
was-
was surprised she didn't call me, check first. Because Gabriel went over there to tell her, oh, it's okay, it's fine. And she just went on with it, you know. And I suppose both of them thought I would let it ride. No, not till she was grown. And since she got grown, I don't think she's colored her hair but what, once?
that one time, and
That's
I
it.
probably never do it
Yeah,
ever again.
yeah. You know, she wanted to be like her other friends, and I get peer pressure, but I wasn't their mom.
Yeah.
And some of them was growing up too fast, and I was trying to keep her, you know,
Yeah, you
within
were.
her age limit.
Yeah.
You know,
You were.
stop trying to be grown before you get there. It'll happen soon enough. Shoot. And with all the responsibilities, trust me.
Somebody asked, "What's your name?"
It's Ronella. it's Ronella Louise.
Do you know how Nana came up with your name,
Ronella.
Ronella?
My dad's name is Ronnie. And if you all know Nana, her name is Priscilla, so the combination of the two is Ranella. And Louise came from my grandmother's, one of my grandmother's dear friends' name was Louise. And so,
Oh, really? I don't think I ever knew that.
one of grandma's best friends' name was Louise, and so
Oh,
that's
look
how
at
she
that.
got Ranella Louise. And for years, I didn't like Louise. I liked Ranella, but I didn't like Louise.
Yeah.
And as I got older, hey, it's
Yeah.
a pretty name,
Yeah,
Louise.
it is.
You know, Ranella Louise.
Ranella Louise. Okay, last question. Was there ever a time where we weren't close?
No.
You don't think so?
Well, yeah. Okay. How we gonna go? Hey, there was a time when she was in college,
Yes.
and she was doing things that I wasn't happy with, But she, you have to let your children make their own decisions,
Yes.
and they live their lives. And you may not always agree with what they're doing, and you give them spiritual advice. I loved her, but I didn't like what she was doing. And I think it was a little wedge, mostly on her part. Not necessarily on mine. Because she wanted,
I was in a relationship that mom did not approve of.
exactly.
Yes.
And I wasn't going to tell her what to do, but I gave her the truth. And when she decided, to make that decision, I just thank you.
Reagan's giving out panties
Yes.
right now. Here you go, girl.
They're
Thank
so
you.
pretty.
Here you go.
But that was hard. It was
Yeah.
very hurtful, and it was a time where I was constantly on my knees and my face. I prayed constantly because I didn't want her to feel my love.
Yeah.
But I had to stand my ground in regards to it being wrong. And, yeah, so that was rough. For
That
the
was
both
a
of
rough
us.
period.
But we made it through.
We did.
Praise be to God.
I know, right? We got known over to the other side.
Yeah.
So that is it, guys. I
Thank you
think that we
so
covered
much.
all of the questions.
Yeah.
Like, I think
great.
there were probably a couple more, but a lot of them were similar.
Right.
So hopefully you enjoyed hanging out with me and Mom.
I
And
just like
thanks
to-
for being so open and transparent.
Thank you. I just
Yeah.
like to thank you all because you guys show me so much love. Even on Instagram, it's so exciting because I did this little Instagram thing, and I'm like, I got people requesting me to
You
be.
are so
It's exciting. So thank you guys because it just warms my heart to know that people like me. I met a peep today. I was pulling in, and I was trying to let her come out of the parking space, and she kept sitting there, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just go and pull in. And she said, she rolled the window down, she said, I was raving at Gracie, I'm a peep. And I was like,
That's so
shout
cool.
out to Courtney and her twins.
Aw.
You guys know Courtney from Heartland.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's who it was?
Yes.
Oh, shut up. Hey, Courtney. That is so funny.
She said they started a YouTube.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
That is so
that's
crazy.
cool, but
Such a
it just
small world.
warms my heart to know how much you show love to not just me, but to my mom, Nana, and my daughter, Gracie. And we just absorb all of that because I know you love my grandbabies. Y'all send them gifts all the time, putting me to shame.
Whatever.
And so thank you guys. Just thank you so much for all the love.
Yay! Well, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you made it all the way to the end. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.